All right, let's hit. Okay, so, oops. Oh. Okay. All right, so let's get going. Warming up. So I know I say the same thing for each bootcamp class, but it's because I do really want to reiterate that, you know, this is really all about you feeling the challenge. And so whenever I set specific intervals for bootcamp, whether it's 60 seconds or 50 seconds or 40 seconds, you do your best to try to work for the entire work interval, but take breaks in the workout before the rest, and then just take a longer rest, you know? The point is that you feel that challenge, and that's the most important part. We're just marching, lifting those knees nice and high, swinging those arms. And then I call this the toy soldier march. So a little bit of kick out or keeping the legs straight. A little more stiff-legged march and get into the hamstrings. Feel free to go at your own pace. If you want to play music, definitely feel free to do that. Helps sometimes to have like really loud, upbeat music going on in the background. The only reason I don't play through Zoom is because it's just too much. It's too much technology stuff, and it might interfere with my voice. So, all right, hands up. Open up those hips. Try to get the abs involved already. So even though we're not directly doing crunches, you still want to draw your abdominals in, embrace that midsection, keep that chest up. And if your hamstrings allow, my hamstrings are pretty tight. Kick those legs out nice and straight. Oh, I just heard my hip pop. Ooh. Let's do some rotation. Anytime you rotate, you want to make sure the heel lifts up so you don't twist your knees here. The rotation happens throughout the rib cage and into the hips, but not into the knees. All right, we're going to go into squats now. So take your feet as wide as you'd like. Generally outside the shoulders is a good width. Try to keep that chest up as we drop that butt back and down. I got a new fitness tank, so I thought I'd wear it, but I don't know about this color. Now that I see it on the Zoom screen. Anyways. It is very comfortable though. It's very lightweight. Be good for running outside. So knees and toes tracking in line with each other. Just to keep them safe. Then you want to drop that butt back and down. Oops. And keep the weight in your heels. Let's go into lunges. So with lunges, you want to bring your feet in, hip distance apart, and then step back, keeping that width. Then you want to bend the back knee down, keep that chest up. I lower the back knee to about ankle heights. You feel a little stretch here. Let's do about 12 of these, so one more. You don't have to turn sideways, feel free to face forward. Unless you use your Zoom video as kind of your mirror, so you can like check your, oops, I did more than 4, I'm sorry. If you use your Zoom video to check your alignment, I mean, it's great. Not everyone has like a mirror right in front of them, right? Sometimes when we work out in the gyms, there's a mirror there. The mirror is not there for you to, you know, admire yourself and look at your hair and makeup, but it's to look at your alignment. And you can, of course, admire yourself, especially when you do like 10 burpees in a row. All right, let's go ahead and do a slow burpee. So slow burpees, you put your hands down. We already have a leg back, so you walk and walk. Then we'll do a push-up. You can do push-ups on your knees or toes. Do a push-up, come back up, and then we'll walk it forward, and we'll stand up. Let's just do one more slow burpee. This is our warm-up, so I'm intentionally not jumping it back. If you want to do a push-up on your toes, go for it. If you want to do more than one push-up, we're not going to do too many push-ups during the warm-up though, because it'll get us too tired for the workout. So the workouts. Instead of cascading from 40, 30, 20, we're doing 50, 40, 30, 20. But that means for every two exercises, you're going to see it 4 times. You're going to see it for 50 seconds, you're going to see it for 40 seconds, you're going to see it for 30 seconds, and you see it for 20. And if it turns out at the end of this class, you hate that timing, then I'll change it. I mean, you never know until we do it, right? So the first exercise is we're going to be jumping sideways over the mats. So if you put your hands on your mats, and I'm just going to assume you all have a mat, but if not, you can pretend. You have your feet on one side, and you can stagger step to the other. That's the non-jumping version, or jump over and over. Okay? So your hands on the mat, and your feet jump over the mats. You might have seen this version before in a gym where people put their hands on a bench, and they jump over the bench. And then we want to do alternate lunging and twist. So the lunging part is you go forward and you twist towards the front leg, push back. Forward, push back. Now, I know some forward lunges don't work for everybody's knees. So you can always, the safer lunge is that you step back. And if you step back, you still want to go towards the front knee. So if your right leg is stepping back, you're going to go left and vice versa. But if you're stepping forward the right, then you got to go right. Regardless, your arms rotate towards the front leg. All right, ready? So we have one jumping exercise, no push-ups, just, there's going to be shoulders involved, and then one lower body exercise. Here we go. So for the first 50 seconds, we're going to jump over this mat. Starting in 5 seconds. All right, 50 seconds. You can do a tuck butt kick, or you can keep it low. You just have to clear the width of the mat. Don't have to kick up in the whole handstand, but I make sure the wrists are underneath your shoulders for maximal stability. So you don't want your hands too close to each other. All right. You also don't want your hands too wide. I would say just about shoulder distance is good. Whew, 50 seconds is a long time. 10 more seconds. Jeez. Yeah. Fight. Oh gosh. Now we're going to upper body. So again, it's reverse lunge forward. You want your arms at shoulder height, so you're still working the shoulders. Oh gosh, did I tell you you get 25 seconds of rest? So the longer the interval, the longer the rest. It's always half of the intervals. There we go. That was 25 seconds. I'm going to face you, just so you can see that I'm stepping forward, and I'm rotating towards the front leg. And I'm going to kind of go side to the corners here. But you want to make sure you form that 90 and 90 degrees in both legs. When you step a nice long stride into the lunge. And feel free to do the reverse. It's not just my arm moving. My whole torso is moving. Right? My whole shoulders, everything rotating. All right, so 50 seconds is a long time. Now we're doing 40 seconds. That's a long time too. If you want to up it a notch for the lunges, you can do jump switch. I wasn't even going to entertain that for 50 seconds, but I probably should have given you the option, right? You might have done it, right? It's just a lot of jumping. and then another lunge jump. So get your heart rate up. Look at the floor. All right, try not to look at your feet. We're working, we've got 20 seconds left. Hopefully you guys can hear the beeps. This particular one doesn't have the knocking at 10 seconds. I'm trying to figure out which timer that is. 3, 2, 1. So it has a 3-second countdown, but it doesn't have that 10-second knocking, which, I don't know, sometimes when I hear that 10-second knocking, I just start to slow down when I hear it. It's almost better for me that I don't hear it. Whew. So the option to do continued jumps like this, if you want, maybe I'll do that for the 30-second and 20-second ones. Try to keep moving. My heart rate is still pretty high. So any exercise that I have in boot camp, there's always a high impact option. I mean, if it's high impact, there's always a low impact option. All right. And if it's a low impact option, you can also make it a high impact option. So you can really gear the workout towards you. 3, 2, and rest. Okay, so that's 20 seconds of rest because the work interval was 40 seconds. All right, so now we're doing 30 seconds, which means the rest intervals are 15 seconds long. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. 30 seconds. The good news is the intervals are shorter. Eight seconds left. And 3, 2. All right. Grab water anytime. There's usually some time during the rest that you can get water. It's okay if you're a little late coming back from the water break. Here we go. 30 seconds right here. Oh, I said I was going to try this during 30 seconds. See how this works in 30 seconds. Basically, the principle is you can generally do something that's more intense in shorter intervals. So longer intervals don't necessarily mean it's better, because what happens is your body will tire out no matter what, right? So if I give you a minute interval and you go, 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 and you like peter out around 40 seconds, well then for that particular exercise, you can do it for 40 seconds. All right, 20 seconds, this is it. Now you're gonna see this exercise again after this. All right, get ready, because 10 seconds is really short for the rest. See, here you go, gotta start already. 20 seconds. Short intervals are nice, but sometimes they're so short that the interval ends before you get tired. All right, that means you could have probably done something more intense. So that's what that means. All right. Whew. Got over a minute. Got a minute. Getting a little long. So I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. We basically challenge our muscles, or we fatigue our muscles, we fatigue our hearts, we get breathless, we tax out our cardiorespiratory system, heart rate goes up, all that stuff. So we hit that peak. We can only stay at that peak for so long, right? So 50 seconds might be a really long time for some of these exercises that I've proposed. So so that you're trying to keep moving. But it is an indication that like that particular exercise, the intensity fits a shorter interval. And the end goal is that you feel challenged, feels hard. You feel like you want to quit, but then you don't because you don't give up. All right, that's the end of our wrist. Okay, so I want to show you the second exercise first. Squat to knee lift, squat to knee lift. That's the low impact. The jumping version is squat, jump, center, knee. Jump, squat, jump, center, knee. Okay, that's the second exercise. This first one I want to demonstrate, there's two versions. Plank. Jump to bear plank. Knees are off the ground. Jump back, jump forward. All right, bear plank is when your knee is under the hips. Now, you can jump your hands. So let me just show this to you, and I actually probably won't do this version, but I want to give it to you. Here, jump back. See how my hand moves? Jump forward. Jump back. My hand didn't jump very high. I almost like just slid it back. But those are your two options. We're going from bear plank to normal plank. That's the first exercise. Come on down here. Lots of arms and shoulders. Yeah. Having said all that, if you want to throw in some push-ups, you can. So for instance, let's say I get kind of tired of this jumping. I can do some push-ups, breaks up the jumping. All right, but your wrists aren't much wider than shoulders. And then if I want to jump the hands back here, forward, I can go right into a push-up, jump back into the bear. I can slide forward and go right into the push-up. That was pretty hard. You don't have to do push-ups at all. Come here. Legs. Arms. Legs. Oh. Oh geez, that was a lot of arms and core. So, get our arms, get a break. Squat, knee lift, squat, knee lift, or squat, jump to center, knee lift, jump feet wide, center. You have 10 more seconds on this 25-second break. All right? Here we go. You want to go as fast as you can, but with good technique. So it's not like you want to be sloppy, okay? So get that wide squat down, land nice and low, feet and toes, not feet and toes, knees and toes aligned with each other. Turn out, face front. My foot faces front, my knees face front when I jump to center. And then the low impact version, the feet just don't leave the ground, you lift the knee. You squat and then you lift a knee and you alternate. Get that knee up there. Lift, raise the abs, chest up. All right, any questions on that bear plank to full plank? There's definitely a lot of options. If you're moving your hands, the hands shift and your body bends back, but your arms are always, your wrists are always underneath the shoulders. So I'm going to start here in this bear plank. I come bounce forward into a push-up, bounce back. Bounce forward into the push-up, bounce back, my knees are off the ground. Now, you can do plank, push-up, come forward on your knees, push up, come back. But the idea behind the bear plank is that your knees are off the ground. So you can also walk it in like this. I forgot to mention that part. Walking in and walking up. Sorry about that. So the low impact version is walk in, walk out. I can't believe I forgot to mention the non-jumping version. I'm sorry. Okay. Second exercise. In 10 seconds, we start. 40 seconds of it. 50 seconds only happens once for each exercise. Here we go. Let's move. Freeze. Freeze. How's your balance? If you start to fall, just start the squat again. Whatever you want to do with your arms, really. "15 seconds left. And then we have a 20-second rest. Three, two, one. All right, back to the plank and bear plank. Optional push-up. Even without the push-up, it's really intense on the arms and shoulders. All right, 5 seconds to go. These are sort of tricep push-ups, only because the hands are right under the shoulders, but because the emphasis is on the plank, not on the push-up. Okay. We're down to 30-second one, right? Every time you hear something on the timer, if you're moving, it means stop. If you're resting, it means move. I try to pull my knee up as high as I can. Nice job. See everyone in their videos? Looks awesome, guys. Awesome. What is this? Woo! 20 seconds. Maybe I'll move my hands this time. A little more intense, but it's only 20 seconds. Here we go. Walking it back. Walking the phone. Last 10-second rest, last 20 seconds of work. Then we got the long, long rest. Minutes. I wanted to make this entire thing all-encompassing, an even number. So if I gave us a 1 minute, 10-second rest after the last interval, it's an exact 8-minute thing. So basically, after we did the first round, it took us exactly 8 minutes, including this 1 minute rest. All right, so grab some water, and I'm gonna do my job, which is to show you the next exercise during this 1 minute break. I didn't do it last time because I was so tired. All right, so burpees. Talk about burpees, how you can walk it out. Push-ups are optional. So let's say you walk back into your burpee. You can be on your knees. You can do your push-up. You're gonna do forward reach, forward reach. And what this does is it works your rear deltoids. If you wanna go side, you can as well, but basically it's lift, lift, finish the burpee. Go down to the burpee, lift, lift, optional push-up. Curtsy lunges. Curtsy, here, curtsy, here, or a curtsy, jump. Curtsy, feet together, jump. All right, so you either gotta jump or you stay nice and low. Let's do it. Burpees first. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So do my burpee, there's my optional push-up, I do reach, and then I finish. Reach. So basically, each hand takes its turn coming off the ground. It slows down your burpee, and it challenges your core because your arms are coming off the ground. I generally put my feet at least hip distance apart when I jump it back. But if you want more challenge, jump your feet back, keep them together. If your feet are together touching, definitely a little more challenging when you do the individual arm reach. All right, I don't know how I talk through the burpees. I don't think I can talk anymore. If you don't like curtsy lunges, you can do straight back lunges here, straight back lunges, optional jump. Curtsy lunges is variation, getting some more range in the hip, right? It's a hip external rotation here. Knees and toes are still aligned with each other, okay? So knees and toes are still aligned with each other. Both knees and toes to that corner, knees and toes to that corner. And my other knees and toes are forward, front. Get low for the lunge, high for the jump. There's jumps, if you want, in both exercises. The burpee has a jump at the end if you want, but you don't have to finish a burpee with a jump. All right, so we go down for our burpee, you do the arm reach, you jump your feet back in or walk your feet back in, you don't have to jump. All right, 40 seconds of work next. More than halfway done. There you go. Reach. After I jump my feet in, I can just stand up. I don't have to jump there. Walk it back. Come to your knees. Optional push-up. Stay on your knees for that reach. Walk it back in. Burpee, low impact. Okay. 20 seconds of rest. Now it feels like the AC's not even on. Whew. I'm going to start my lunge this way. 3, 2, 1. Nice, looking good. Whatever you need to do the arms for the balance and to help get you some height. Awesome. 20 seconds until the next 30-second interval. 30 seconds of burpees. Try to keep moving. Change it to low impact burpees if you need to. Try to squeeze in one more. may really regret being in this class right now, but in another like 12 minutes, you'll really be happy that you did it and you won't have regretted it. I like the height that I'm seeing. Okay, we are on to our last two segments, 20 seconds. I know it's short. Try to squeeze in as many burpees as you can. Up. Try to get through the burpees. Skip the push-ups if you want. Oh, thank goodness that was only 20 seconds. Pretty much reached my max there. And that's the thing. As you progress with this workout into this 45-minute class, we're starting each round fatigued. So imagine if I started the entire thing with burpees. So the reason I don't start with burpees though is because it's so intense for a lot of people, including myself, that I just feel like it's really jarring to start with it. So I always like to kind of ease into working for the burpee. It's not because I like to do the burpee when we're tired already. I usually try to put in the middle, right? That was the middle. It's definitely not the end. We have one more round. And I will say that, this is the Superman, Superwoman. So we do a lot of abs and planks, but sometimes we really neglect our spine. So this is a good exercise for our spine. So basically you do lift, push yourself up. So you can push yourself up to your knees, lower back down, lift. Okay, if it bothers your back a lot, keep your hands down. You can lift your legs, or you can lift right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg, and then push yourself up. Now the most challenging push-up is that, of course. Okay? Next exercise is squatting in the box. Forward to the front, forward to the side, forward to the back, forward across. Nothing complex about it. It's just hard. Actually, I'm going to start with that. 4, 3, 2, 1, and 4. 3, 2, 1. Back for 4, and right for 4. If you want to go just for symmetry, clockwise, you can. So what's the challenge here? It's almost isometric. You never really stand up at your squat. You just jump enough. Really, it's such a slight jump so that your feet can move, right? Because your feet can't move, it's just like stuck to the ground. Low impact version. Oh, let me talk about that. It's the duck walk. Duck walk, duck walk. And by the way, this is not much easier. Whether you do those little jumps or walk like this, the fact that your knees are constantly bent, it really, really burns out your legs. In fact, when I switched over to the non-jumping, it didn't actually ease up my leg muscles at all. It did, however, affect my heart rate a little bit. So if you're looking to really work your heart muscle, you might want to chug a little bit. 5 more seconds. Push up. Now this is a push up done from the floor up. So it is a very deep push up. If it bothers your shoulders, definitely do it from your knees. And once you get yourself up, practice lowering down slowly. you're working your muscles in both directions, right? You push yourself up. But when you lower yourself down slowly within control, it's a lot of muscles. In fact, count down. You go 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't even care if you slow down this motion, because I mean, you got 50 seconds of work anyways. Even if you slow it down to pass the time, you're not making it easier on your arms. So don't worry about speed for this one. Hold that spine extension. Oh, a little sweat in my eyes. So you can hold that spine extension for a little longer. You can come up really slowly, come down really slowly. Look at my legs. They pretty much don't change position. They have that turned out, knees and toes aligned. I'm not really counting how many times I go in each direction, because that's not the point. The point is that you're staying low. Making the box just distracts you. You're like, oh, so focused on drawing the shape, you don't notice the pain. If I made you do this in place for the whole 40 seconds, you would hate it. You're like, oh, it's so boring. Draw the box. Draw the box. It helps psychologically. Okay. So like I said, you can hold the spine extension for longer. It's just great for your spine. You can come up really, really, really slow. You can go down really, really, really slowly. All right, let's go, let's go. So some muscles should be constantly engaged. Your spine muscles, your arms, your abs, that strong plank position. This particular combo works on our postural muscle, but also allows our heart rate to come back down a little bit. Unlike the last round, which really drove our heart rate up, because we had burpees and a curtsy lunge jump. Feel free to try the walking burpee. Yeah, it doesn't really elevate your heart rate, but man, it does actually still burn out your legs a lot. I'm just doing a combination. I'm walking to the side. And then I'm jumping on the forward and back. Anything goes. It's your workout. What challenges you? My legs are dead. All right, you can text me tomorrow and tell me how you feel tomorrow. You're gonna be tired after this workout, but tell me how you feel the next day. All right, we're almost there. 20 seconds, and that's it. The whole workout's done. You get to stretch. This is the last time you're on your feet. Wow, except when we stretch. But this is the last working 20 seconds of exercise A. Now we're lying on our stomach. That's just 20 seconds. If you decide that you want to do a 20-second Superman or Superwoman, you just focus on the spine. You're done with push-ups, then do it. You want to just do this spine extension for 20 seconds. Your workout's the last 20 seconds of this workout, of today's boot camp. Okay. And that's it. Okay, I'm not getting up. Well, get up if you want to get some water, but let's actually push back into spine stretch, child's pose. Take some nice deep breaths. So each round was 8 minutes, and whenever you count a round of intervals, you actually count the rest as well, because what happens is during the work intervals, you drive your heart rate up, and if it weren't for the built-in rest, you'd be forced to stop anyways. Like, you just can't continue when you hit your limits. So the rest is when your heart rate comes back down, and then you can work again. So an entire 8-minute interval is like this with your heart rate. All right? And then we let the heart rate come a little lower, not down to like, you know, where you're sitting. Oh, by the way, I'm stretching here. Then sit back and stretch your hamstring. So my point being is that some people are like, oh, I'm only going to count the work intervals, and it's not true. You actually want to count the entire section. So we did 8-minute interval rounds. Go this hamstring stretch. If you don't feel it, just keep lowering your chest. We're going to try the other side here. And we did that 4 times. So we did about 32 minutes of pretty intense work. 32 minutes. And then now we're stretching. So in a 45-minute class, there's the warm-up and the cool-down, which is just as important to do. You never want to skip the warm-up or the cool-down. So if you ever like go into a 45-minute boot camp class and they start right away with burpees and there's no warm-up, and then they end the class with something else intense, and then they're like, all right, class over, that is not a safe workout. The warm-up and the cool-down needs to be built in within the workout itself. Okay, let's do this hip flexor. So I like doing 45-minute class because I find that 30 to 35 minutes of intensity of the boot camp is quite sufficient. Sometimes if it's any longer than that, people start to pace themselves. Like, oh, I gotta hold back a little bit in the first 15 minutes of class or 10 minutes so I have energy for the rest of it. I'd rather pick a length of class where you feel like you can just give it your all for the whole time. There shouldn't be a moment where you feel like you're holding back. That also means that if anyone ever says to you, hey, let's do a 4-minute interval, you have to say, it's probably not a 4-minute interval unless it has built-in rests. Because there's no way you're going to keep up whatever intensity for a full 4 minutes. Although I will say about elite marathon runners, man, those guys run 26.2 miles at about a 4:50 to 5-minute pace. I mean, I can't even run that fast if I ran half a mile. That'd be like my most intense interval to run that speed. So I don't know how they do it, but they're basically running 2 hours of an interval. And I don't know, it's ridiculous. It must mean that if they only had to run a mile, they could run it in like 3 minutes or something. Crazy. All right, open up that chest. So if you ever need to leave before I do the stretch and cool down, that's fine. I realize, we're all busy people, and I really appreciate that you take time out of your busy day to do a workout with me. But if you ever need to skip the stretch, I hope that you will do at least some sort of stretching on your own. Otherwise, your muscle recovery is really painful.
I just found my earring in the grass that I lost on July 4th.
No way!
Yeah, it's like, sweet.
It's one of the greatest joys in life when you find
Oh my
things.
God. Yeah. I have 2 more I need to find.
Are they around your lawn?
No, mm-mm.
Oh,
They're out there in the world.
I have a crazy earring story. Once I was going to this wedding, it was at MIT Walker Memorial, and the wedding was at some church, and then we all had to take the T. I guess you could drive too, but we took the T, and then we walked to Walker Memorial, and I noticed when I got there, my earring was gone. So I'm like, oh crap, that's it. And then I'm walking back to the T later that night, and there it is, like on the way back.
Oh my gosh.
And I was just like, what are the odds that I would like even find it? It's crazy.
Man, yeah, that's crazy.
Obviously, I lost it while I walked to the T.
Wow.
I know, right?
Yay.
Well, don't give up hope, Ingrid,
No.
or buy another pair.
Done. So I have lots of hope.
Yeah. Reasons to buy more earrings. Well, thanks so much, everyone.
Yay.
Good job. What do you guys think? Is it terrible?